Hello and welcome to Homicide Hobbies. I'm Andy,
And I'm Claire.
and we're here to talk about some of the disturbing things that go on in the world, past and present. We feel like not knowing doesn't mean the crazy doesn't exist.
So we're going to scar you with the knowing.
Enjoy. It was weird not talking to you this morning, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you hear that just now? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
What is that?
Me.
Why?
Because I was trying to mark when you were going to sit, when we were going to get started, so you could have your marker.
Well, stop doing that. Oh, I think you broke your mic. Stop doing that.
It could be the weather. We're having a lot of wind.
It's the chili. So, what do you got for us today, Claire?
So we are headed to the place where
I don't know where that is.
we're headed to a place where U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was born. Got nothing? Its state bird is the eastern bluebird.
All right. Next.
It became a state in 1788, being one of the original 13 colonies.
So, should I just list all the colonies?
I would like you to list. Actually, I would like you to list the 13 colonies. Yes, if you can.
Georgia,
Georgia was one.
Virginia,
Uh-huh.
Massachusetts,
Uh-huh.
New Hampshire.
Uh-huh. You're just scattering all around. I thought you'd start from the bottom and go up when you said Georgia, but whatever. Go on.
North Carolina, South Carolina. Or were those separate colonies, or was it just one?
No, yeah, you're right. Keep going.
Okay. Did I say Maryland?
No, but go. Uh-huh.
New York.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't it York? I don't know. Is Delaware one?
Uh-huh. Look who did their homework. You're so close.
Connecticut?
Uh-huh.
How many more do I have? I feel like
2.
Oh, fudge.
Actually, 3. 3. You haven't said that one either. So you did 10, which is a lot more than I thought you were going to do.
You think I'm dumb?
No, I think you haven't been in the schooling for a bit. New Hampshire, Rhode Island.
Oh, Rhode Island.
New Jersey.
Oh, they're small. I forgot.
Yeah. You got Delaware and Maryland.
Well, Maryland is directly above where I live. And Delaware, we done gone across the bridge over there before.
I thought for sure you'd get the D. But since you guessed it, we're going to be in New York.
It was really hard to be silent just now, just so you know. You're a shit.
Okay, so before we get into anything...
Wait, so where are we going to be?
New York. Okay. I realize I threw you off.
It just made me... I wasn't prepared.
Geography. I know, that's why I was saying you did really good for not being prepared.
I got a headache now. My brains hurt.
Both of them?
All tan.
First, before we get started, have you heard of GG Allin?
Is he a lawyer? Sounds like a law firm.
No.
GG Allin and Associates. Have you been in an accident lately?
He's the so-called most shocking man in punk rock.
Oh.
I didn't figure you'd know who he was because I didn't either. And in the time period we're talking, I enjoyed the punk rock in my high school days, and this guy came before, so I was just surprised that I hadn't heard any of his stuff before. And just a spoiler, he's going to be who dies, so I'm going to tell you who he is so you can understand who he is and who we're talking about.
Okay.
Because largely you really kind of have to understand his life and mentality so that his death makes sense. So GG Allin was born in 1956 in rural New Hampshire. His childhood was violent and unstable. His father was abusive, paranoid, deeply disturbed. He claimed he heard voices. He would preach his own version of religion. He'd even threatened to kill the family and himself.
Oh.
Before GG Allin became GG Allin, the walking biohazard in a jockstrap.
Oh.
He was a little kid who was being raised by the survivalist father who named him Jesus Christ Allin when he was born.
All right.
And that was indeed his name when he was born. Can you imagine being born, taking your first breath, and someone looking at you and goes, yeah, this is the Messiah?
Or did they look at their baby and he's got like a big old honker or something? They were like, Jesus Christ.
And somebody happened to walk into the room writing, okay.
No, and then they were
They just threw in the last name.
they just played it off like and held the baby up like a something
Simba.
And that was the baby's name.
I don't know what they say. It's worse when there's no music or like instrumental things.
Sure.
Anyway, so his dad, complete whack job. He isolated the family in a cabin with no running water or electricity. He even kept a grave dug in the basement and told them children that one day he might kill them all.
So that's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, when I was reading, I was like, this certainly doesn't sound like an origin story of someone. It sounds like the bad cut of a horror movie.
Although it could be the origin story of a serial killer.
Right. So it shouldn't be a surprise when his mother is going to flee with the children. I feel like having a pre-dug grave for the family is a pretty good indicator he probably should get out of there.
Especially if she ever woke up and he's out there with his his penis measurer measuring. Let me dig this a little bit.
But so that's just to give you an idea of the person who when he gets older. GG is very much not a stranger to the violence. Are you laughing because our mother's nickname?
Oh my god!
Is that what you're?
It is. Oh my god!
That makes me feel better because I was like, since mom likes to be called GG, I was like, I can't unhear this. And unfortunately for you, I'm gonna call him GG throughout this entire case.
Oh god!
Just know, I think GG. It fucked with my brain hole too. But anyway, so Gigi is not a stranger to violence.
No, she's not. Sorry, I won't do that anymore, I hope. I can't promise.
But for him, that violence and seriously fucked up mentality was normal to him. Now, I will say his mother would change his name to Kevin Michael Allin. So by the time he starts school, he's not Jesus Christ, which was very nice of her.
Bless her.
So the world will know him as GG Allin, and that's why I'm gonna call him GG.
Why is he GG? I thought his name was Kevin.
Well, I'm just telling you, but I'm gonna tell you.
And even if he was Jesus Christ, they spelt it wrong if they spelt it with a G.
Well, if it's spelled with two G's, they're both silent. I'm telling you, when he grows up, I don't know, at one point, fuck off, Andrea. I'm gonna call him GG because I'm not calling him Jesus Christ, and I'm not calling him Kevin. His name is GG because by the time he dies, he's GG.
I was just curious how he came up with GG.
I don't know. Ask our mother. Anyway, so at school, he's kind of a weird kid. He's the angry kid, the one that doesn't fit in. So punk rock music doesn't just attract him, it gives him a language for every violent, chaotic thought that comes into his head. And by the time he's in the throes of high school, he finds punk rock for sure his outlet, but he begins playing in bands, and I feel like that's not a surprise. I feel like every boy I went to high school with was in a band.
Or they played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, those were the two.
Or sports.
Or sports, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the three. But where most people saw that behavior as typical teen rebellion, Gigi saw permission for more extreme behaviors, as if people are going to be like, oh, that's just what they do. So he's going to start a pattern of escalation.
Of course.
And really, he's born at the perfect time for that, because I don't know if you're doing the math, but his teen years are going to be in the 70s, and we already know the 70s are unhinged, so he really was born for the time of people to turn their heads or go, oh, all the things are fucked at this moment, so what's another?
Why'd you go British?
I don't know, Andrew. Why are you asking so many weird questions? Like, when did he become Gigi? Why are you British?
I still don't understand how he got the name Gigi from Jesus Christ and Kevin.
No, so I'm just telling you he becomes Gigi. I'm going to be calling him Gigi, but I was letting you know by the time he starts school, his mother at least did him a solid and changed his name from Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just curious how he came up with Gigi. I know you can't answer that.
Unfortunately, he's dead, so you won't be able to ask. But by his late teens and early 20s, he hasn't outgrown the band thing, so he's still in and out of different bands. playing grimy clubs, writing songs that sounded less like rebellion and more like threats. While other punk bands were screaming about politics or boredom, GG was screaming about rape, murder, and wanting to die, and he meant it.
I see why we didn't listen to this when we were growing up.
Yeah, that shed light on it to me as well, because the first song I listened to, for that he was the singing or whatever. Well, hold on. So from the mid 70s to early 80s, he fronted the band The Jabbers.
Like Jibber Jabber?
I was thinking like you jab somebody with a blade. I guess that's more stab, jab. I don't know why they were the Jabbers.
Well, actually, like a jab is also a boxing, like.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know which one they were referencing. I would assume it wasn't the Chatterbox version, so it probably was a boxing thing because he likes the violence. And at first, his shows were just loud and confrontational. Then he started asking himself a dangerous question: how far can I push this before people walk out? The answer turned out to be very far. He began cutting himself on stage,
Oh.
bleeding everywhere, smashing his head with the microphone, eventually escalating to defecating mid set, smearing
Oh.
it, sometimes eating it,
Oh.
and throwing it into the crowd.
Oh.
His body became the venue, and the venue became collateral damage. Gigi didn't want to shock for attention with his music. He wanted to erase boundaries. And can I just say, what the fuck, man?
I understand
Like,
how a mosh pit became a thing because it wasn't to dance and punch
it's
each
to
other.
get
It's
away from the turd.
Yeah.
I can tell you, if I went to a concert and got hit with the lead singer's shit, I'd be like, at the last concert I go to, and I'm out.
That's vile.
Mm-hmm. By the 1980s, Gigi's performances were infamous. He would debut his first album in 1980 named Always Was, Is, and Always Shall Be with the Jabbers.
Well,
Now, mind you, they produced that album themselves.
all right.
Gigi would say that music wasn't entertainment, concerts weren't in fact shows, audience weren't spectators, they were participants. His idea of a show involved blood, broken glass, and things you absolutely do not want near your face.
Like shit.
If yes. If people left angry, scared, bleeding, or disgusted, that meant it worked, and he was thrilled.
You were confused why you'd never heard of him?
So when I did, I was a little confused because I would think somebody at school would have said something about.
I'm going to guess that you didn't really hang out with the people that were into the shit throwing singers.
Well, that too, but this is in the 80s, so I was just like, I guess that was before. I'm talking more of the 90s, I guess. So he was too soon in my punk rock days. Anyway, so I do have lyrics to one of his songs, and I was debating on which chunk to chunk out. So I just decided I'd read it to you the first half because I'm not going to sing it to you. So disappointing. So you're just going to have to think all the punk rock background music to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get drunk and pass out on the floor. Work myself into convulsions, beat my head against the door. I want to cut my skin, cut it until I bleed. I want to feel pain. It's the life that I lead. Abuse myself. I want to abuse my body. Cut it deep, make it bleed. Throw my guts on the floor. Cut my face until I get knocked. I want to die before I get old. Get fucked up, then die. I want to die. I want to die. Kill me, motherfucker. I never died before. Bury me under the floor. Stick me in the heart. I ain't got one anyway. Stick me in the ass. That's the best part of me.
Oh.
because I don't care if I live or die. Just don't matter. Kill me anyway. I want to abuse myself. Yeah. Shoot me, stab me, cut my throat. Hit me with a fucking axe. I just want to croak. Look me in the eyes, and what do you see? Stab me in the eyes, you can piss on me. Kick me in the balls, I just don't care. Rip out my brains, pull my fucking hair. Abuse me, kick me, cut me till I bleed. Fuck me, kick me, shit on me.
Ugh.
Destroy me, I want to destroy you. Skipping the chorus. But kill me, rape me, do with me what you will. And then I stopped because I was like,
all right.
What the fuck, man? No matter what beat you put with that would not be a song I'd want to listen to. It's not music.
That's because you're a music snob.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I was like, Okay. So they also had another one that I looked at or listened to, and I did laugh because it's called Don't Talk to Me. And the lyrics are just as creative as the ones I read to you, only more repetitions of "don't talk to me" in between things like "you ought to have a case of bloody laryngitis."
Well, I'm gonna
Like
I hope that he's meaning bloody as in,
like
the
that
British.
Australian.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was like, okay, so lyrically, it's not even I wouldn't even say for shock value. There there's nothing. I don't know. It's not my thing, and I don't know how people bought tickets to his shows because between the music not being particularly great and knowing you might get smeared with turds at a show, I don't know why you'd want to participate in this.
Sign me up.
But at their shows, they regularly included extreme intoxication, self harm, physical fights with the audience, sexual acts on stage, and again with Gigi defecating and smearing feces on himself and others. So by this point, venues are starting to ban him because they're like, enough of this guy. He's a biohazard walking. And I agree. On top of, like I said, I'd be pissed if I went to a concert and got shit slung on me. And I imagine for venues, they were probably pretty pissed to have to clean it all up.
That's a really interesting way to word that you would be pissed about the shit.
Well, I wouldn't be turded.
You'd be toilet papered for sure.
I don't know. This guy doesn't strike me as somebody who does the wiping.
No, but I would be throwing some at you. Not in my car.
But I was also flabbergasted that any venues even booked him.
Flabbergasted. You want to call me 90?
Flabbergasted. Yeah, I was flabbergasted, all right, because I felt like, who books him anyway? That, like, do you don't just not know who he is? And I guess not. But maybe it was an error because they didn't know who he was when they booked or allowed him to be booked on whatever days. And then once they realize that he has some issues is when they're like, yeah, no, he's not allowed here. So the venues that weren't canceled would frequently get so out of control that the police would have to step in to shut them down. And Gigi would try to incite riots and get the crowd worked up because that's what he did. He fed on chaos. It also wasn't abnormal for Gigi to get arrested during the shutdowns over and over again. Matter of fact, he wasn't a stranger to the clink. In fact, he got arrested constantly, more than 50 times by his own count, for assaults and indecency, chaos at shows. At one point, he went to prison for a brutal assault on a woman that involved cutting, burning, and drinking her blood.
Oh,
He claimed it was consensual.
sure.
The court and the lady very much disagreed. And as you'd expect, prison doesn't calm him down. He said it made him more spiteful and more determined to keep pushing until he died, because, rock and roll forever. His whole philosophy became bring real danger back into rock and roll, even if it kills me or you.
All right.
So prison doesn't rehabilitate him, it just hardens the myth. He writes letters, draws violent art, talks about coming out even more extreme, like this was punk rock grad school and he's about to defend his thesis in blood. When he gets out, the shows escalate. No stage separation, no security buffer. He's naked half the time, covered in cuts, bruises, and whatever bodily substance he feels like weaponizing that night.
That's disgusting.
He doesn't just work a crowd, he attacks it, punches people, kicks them, tackling them, daring them to hit back.
Shits on him.
And I can just tell you, I don't know what kind of visual you've got right now, but I pictured a naked man covered in excrement just diving into a crowd. That's not a concert.
I mean, it's a pretty dirty concert.
It's a turd fight club.
Disgusting.
So by this point, Gigi isn't just a punk singer, he's an urban legend with a pulse. The stories about his shows sound fake until you see the footage. And then you kind of wish they were fake.
Isn't it like Ozzy Osbourne that bit off the head of a bat at one of his concerts?
Yeah.
Or Marilyn Manson did something crazy too. I feel like it was the shock value to get your name in the press.
So that's what I was trying to think, because there's also that Eminem song where he talks about putting a gerbil or a hamster or something in his ass, and it's just I don't know. I don't know.
We for sure listen to different music though.
No, mind you, I like some of Eminem's songs. It's just some of them I do all right, skip. Okay, I'll give anything a shot, which is why I was willing to listen to his music. And I'll play you some snippets, but
Mm.
you're not missing anything. So, word of this human hazard gets big enough that daytime TV comes calling. The early 90s loved a good look at this freak show kind of episode, and Gigi was basically their final boss. He shows up at talk shows like Geraldo and Jerry Springer, shirtless, handcuffed, ranting about violence and freedom while the audience looks like they want to bathe in bleach.
Yeah, he probably smells awful.
I'm sure. On those shows, he lays out his philosophy like a manifesto. He says rock and roll has gone soft, that it's all fake rebellion. He calls himself the last real rock star, saying his job is to destroy every barrier between performer and the audience, including safety, consent, and basic hygiene.
Ugh.
One of his main weird philosophies was my mind's a machine gun, my body's the bullets, and the audience is the target.
All right.
Yeah. He promises he'll die for rock and roll and take some of us with him if he has to.
It's not needed.
And the weirdest part is, he doesn't say it as a joke. He says it like a guy reading a mission statement. It's the weirdest shit. So when he started promising fans that one day he's going to kill himself on stage, live in front of everyone, people believe him. I mean, he ate his own turd. So he even announced a date once, Halloween 1990. The only reason that didn't happen? Because he was in jail.
Hmm.
From that point on, every GG Allin show came with this morbid extra layer. Not just, will he hurt someone, but is this the night he's finally going to die in front of us?
That's disgusting.
Dude, when I was reading this, I was like, what the fuck, man?
People have issues, a lot of them.
Right. And the audience becomes complicit. People start showing up because they know the show might get shut down in 5 minutes. They want to tell their friends, yeah, I saw him. I got out of there before the cops came. He's not just selling music, he's selling proximity to disaster. Meanwhile, the songs themselves are almost a background detail. Filthy, violent, aggressive, offensive lyrics about rape, murder, racism, and death. Even in a scene built on shock, other punk bands are like, yeah, we're not inviting him with us. It's not music, it's fucking noise. And a serious cry for help, in my opinion, even if he acts like he doesn't want it, he needs it.
Yeah.
And through all of this, he keeps repeating the same promise. One day, he will kill himself on stage. He'd literally tell people, one day, I'm gonna die on stage and take rock and roll with me. He tells interviewers he'll do it when the time is right, that the audience will be part of his ritual. Fans joke about it, but there's always this quiet question, what if he actually does?
Then he's dead.
So you get this horrifying paradox. You have a man who clearly wants to die, who turns every show into a suicidal rehearsal, and you have a crowd that can't look away. Instead of pulling him back from the edge, they start treating his self destruction like entertainment, like a party trick with a pulse, for now. And that only feeds his drive for more and more extreme acts. And GG Allin's life kind of similar on and off stage. He chases chaos. He is chaos. He also heavily uses heroin.
Ah,
Surprise, surprise.
this is all making sense now.
He also lives a transient kind of lifestyle. He rejected stability on principle. He would always talk openly about wanting to die young, even on stage, or be killed by an audience member would be fantastic. But just really, he wanted to end his life publicly. And just as often as he had those weird conversations, is how often he'd be found passed out. Friends were so used to seeing him unconscious, bleeding, turd covered, vomit covered, drunk, high, unresponsive, that really, every time they found him, it wasn't like a, oh god, there's Gigi. In his world, none of it was a shock, and none of it was an emergency. It was all normal. Which brings us to June 27th, 1993. GG Allin played a show at a small Manhattan venue called The Gas Station. It'd be funny if it was just a gas station, but
That would be hilarious.
the show didn't last long before chaos breaks out almost immediately. Police start shutting it down. They even cut the power to just fucking get rid of people. Everything turns chaotic. People start spilling into the streets. Gigi walks out, angry, bleeding, but energized. The show's over, but Gigi's not done with being Gigi. He and his little swarm of fans and random chaos people spill over into the grimy East Village apartment areas for their after party. It's less Legends Last Stand and more off brand college party with extra herpes.
Oh.
Inside the apartment, people drank. Gigi is doing as usual, using way too many drugs, stumbling around, completely wrecked on heroin and booze. And at some point, he passes out, collapses on a couch, shirtless. And like always, no one panics. They continued about their evening, and everyone's reaction is basically, oh, classic Gigi, taking a little death nap.
Um.
And here's where it gets dark. He's not moving, he's not waking up, he's gone. Because he's dead.
Um.
But everyone around him is so used to barely conscious Gigi that they just keep the party going around him. Because this is what everybody does. Only, like I said, he's dead this time.
That's awful.
Hours passed and the evening becomes early morning. People came and went. The music is still playing. There's empty bottles on the floor. People are laughing, talking, drifting in and out of rooms. Then people are like, let's get pictures with Gigi passed out. Like, literally, yo, get in this shot. Look how wasted he is. He doesn't even know we're doing this. Putting their arms around his shoulders, posing for all these dumbass party pictures.
He's got some real classic friends.
With a corpse that nobody, right. And in those photos, Gigi is slumped over and still. Mind you, this man has been naked, bloody, and screaming.
I hope he's not screaming. That's not dead.
This isn't a surprise to anyone. That's how far this whole I'm a walking disaster thing went. He trained everyone to see how as this cartoon of self-destruction. So even when he finally crossed the line, they thought it was just more content. That's the profoundly messed up part about long-term self-destruction. If your friend passes out once, they're like, whoa, are you okay? If they pass out for the 100th time, your brain quietly switches it to background noise. He didn't need one heroic person in that room to suddenly go, wait, this feels different. He needed people years earlier saying, hey man, this isn't edgy, this is a medical problem.
Yeah, I think you need some meds.
Like a long, boring intervention with the words like rehab, therapy, maybe drink water instead of whatever the fuck that is.
Toilet water?
That probably would have been better.
He ate his own shit. I feel like, yeah, anything would be better.
But by then, this was just Gigi had become the excuse for everything. So instead of someone calling an ambulance, people are just literally calling each other over for a photo. It's not just that they missed the signs, it's that the signs had become the show. So in the end, he doesn't die on stage in front of a crowd like he always promised. He dies at the sad after party in a disgusting apartment while people step around him to get another drink and another picture. One tiny, dark, little mercy in this whole thing is he didn't manage to take anyone else with him. And for a guy who spent his career turning the crowd into crash test dummies, that's weirdly the closest thing he's going to get to a happy ending.
Ew.
So when people talk about GG Allin now, they remember the shock stuff, the fights, the nudity, the blood, the turd eating, the chaos.
That's if he's remembered at all.
That's why I was like, hey, he's not famous to me. But what really sticks with me is the image of a room full of people smiling for a camera while they pose with a dead guy. Even though he spent years promising, I'm gonna die for rock and roll, in the end, he did die, but not in the dramatic movie scene he imagined. He died the way a lot of addicts do. Too far gone, surrounded by people, and somehow completely invisible. So yeah, the man who wanted the ultimate rock and roll death ended up on the world's worst party photo, passed out on the couch, and this time he really wasn't getting back up. Also, side tidbit, he did have a daughter in 1960, or not 1960, he was born in 50. But
I was just like, you better say 69 because
he has a daughter that was born in 1986, and fortunately, she does not take after her father at all. In fact, she doesn't want the attention of being his daughter.
No shit.
And I have to give his mother some serious credit because...
Her mother.
Yeah, well, I've got to give her mother some serious credit that she raised her daughter and kept her away from his life.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure what midlife crisis she was having that anybody would want to sleep with that mess of a man, but...
So where was he at in his career when she got pregnant?
So his career never really takes off. That's why I was telling you the album that he debuts, they self-produced. Even when he dies, his net worth is $100,000. He was never a successful musician. He was a step above a homeless person.
When did he start doing his music?
He started playing in bands in high school.
Okay. You're making me pull teeth here, lady. I'm trying to figure out, was she like a roadie or was he just still kind of figuring out that he's a dirty pervert, disgusting shit eater? And that was when she liked him? Or like, I'm just trying to gauge where he was at with his jumping off the side of the cliff.
So you figure that was 5 years before he died. So I would think he was in the
Ugh,
throes of his turd eating.
yikes.
Which is why I say I don't know at what point.
Wait, he only had his daughter was 5 when he died?
Mhm.
Oh.
Well, he died in 93. She was born in 86, so 4, about to be 5. But I would like to think that maybe
He
she.
did say consent was not necessary.
Well, so I don't know what kind of.
You know what? Realistically, she could have
Maybe
been
she was partying too hard. Yeah,
just,
she could have been somebody who was a rape victim.
or she could have just been out in one of his concerts, and with him throwing bodily fluids off, she just got impregnated.
I don't know how you stand at concerts, but
I'm picturing people waist deep in his bodily fluids.
Ugh, it's really gross.
That's
Like,
foul.
I was horrified hearing about all of it, and I was just like, okay, so when I say there are punk rock songs that I like, his were not on the list.
You shouldn't have to get your concert tickets and already schedule a doctor's appointment for some pink eye drops.
I feel like the broken glass, all of it is a.
Hey doc, can you give me a prescription for like a blanket antibiotic? I'm going to this concert this weekend and I'm fairly certain I'm coming out with a bunch of diseases.
Might as well make sure my tetanus is up to date.
Yeah.
And my hepatitis.
Ugh.
Well, aren't you sick and tired of talking on the phone? Sitting in your room, conversing all alone. Talking about everybody else. But what you'd really rather do is talk about yourself. So, don't talk to me, oh no. Don't talk to me, oh no. Don't talk to me, oh no. You don't talk to me, oh no. You don't talk.
Okay, that was one of his earlier ones that made me laugh because it just, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk.
Yeah, so sounds like a teenager song for sure.
Yes. So when I heard that one as one of the earlier ones, I was like, all right, so.
I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna be making dinner. Hit play on that bad boy.
But that one made me laugh. Now, I'm not going to lie, that one is one of the ones that, like, it kind of, they don't sound different than a lot of the other bands. Like the punk rock bands, like the same.
I know he was probably frustrated he wasn't making it big, but did it ever dawn on him to maybe not throw poop at people? That sounded very 80s, like 80s, 90s, that was on point with where music was at. So they could have made it, but the drugs, the alcohol, and the turds probably were a bit much. And like the cutting and
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play you a little bit of the one that I read, the Abuse Myself, I Want to Die.
you're gonna have to hold it closer to the mic because it's barely.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my god, it's loud!
Oh, sorry.
Abuse myself. I wanna abuse my body.
All right.
Yeah.
That wasn't as good.
So that was the later one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's definitely a
So
difference in his music, and the first one was better.
I think the first one you can tell he sounds more like a younger man. Now, you've got to open up the email and see the pictures of him.
I don't wanna. I feel like he's turd covered.
Not for the albums.
Why? That's the time to do it. Which one am I clicking on?
GG.
Oh, GG, don't read it, cheater. Got it.
And then I didn't even attach my show notes.
Uh,
But like one of them's from the concert where he's covered in blood. I don't know what was with the album cover where he looks like he's hanging himself with the mic.
Is that poop on his forehead?
No, that's where he beat himself in the head with the mic.
I think that looks like turds on his forehead.
It probably would be better if that's what it was.
Um,
But then his face is cut up for the other album one.
is that why it's black and white?
No, all the way at the bottom. No, that one's the one that I was telling you. It kind of looks like he was trying to hang himself with the mic cable.
Yeah. Life sucks, scum fuck. All right.
Oh, you're reading his tattoos?
Mm-hmm. I would not want to be one of those 4 men in that picture.
Yeah. I don't know how they stayed in a band. Other than, I don't know if they were trying to do the whole, like, Ozzy Osbourne kind of thing of...
Who did his tattoos?
I feel like he probably did them himself.
The lizard? The lizard on his underneath the fuck you tattoo? First of all, the fuck you looks like a penis.
Yeah.
Like a kindergartner drew a penis. And I guess that's a lizard below it.
I don't know.
His tattoos are awful.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's disgusting. And I know it's not our typical... I feel like people should have been charged who were in that room.
Yeah, with drug possession.
But I don't know. I couldn't believe the people couldn't notice somebody was a dead body.
I mean, depending on...
And how much does that tell you he stinks? Like...
Well, I would assume that he was all pooed out since that was his go-to move on stage. So maybe when he died, he just didn't release anything.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
You like to throw your weird cases out there.
I do, because this one was alarming to me that...
Your Elsa case, and then this one's just some freaking weirdo that ODs.
Yeah. But I thought for sure this could have ended real bad because he could have very easily decided suddenly he wanted his daughter and then go murder her, or like, I really think this was the best way. I mean, I'm sad for her that she got real shitty cards dealt to, like, for his daughter, that her dad was a piece of shit. But at the same time, this was like the best case scenario for him not getting help and where he was going. At least he only took himself out.
Not intentionally, which is even more pathetic.
Well, not intentionally, but it's just like the fact that, like, he was looking for trouble no matter which way he went, and it was only escalating. And I think it's wild people paid tickets to anything that would be like, the guy's how could he have been singing? He couldn't have been. He was too busy hitting himself with the mic, shitting and rubbing at places, and then breaking glass and fighting with a crowd. How is that the lead singer?
I don't listen to Marilyn Manson, and I really didn't listen to Ozzy Osbourne, but they were known, right, for doing like some crazy
Yeah, I know.
stuff. So I feel like...
Well, let us know, fellow listeners. Would you go to a concert where you might be stabbed, battled by the lead singer, or excrement thrown at you?
I mean, people went to R. Kelly's concerts.
I don't feel like he
Sorry.
peed on anybody at the concerts. That was more like a VIP thing, and only for the children, Andrea.
It's disgusting.
Speaking of perverts,
That's
did you see the one thing where somebody was like, like when they were doing the whole P. Diddy has 100 bottles of lube, and then somebody doing the whole, he only had 100 left. Oh,
no.
all right. Anyway, that's all I've got.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah. And if anybody takes anything from this, I feel like it should be don't eat your shit. And if you have somebody in your life that does, get them the help they need.
And a dewormer.
Well, it's their own.
You just said if they're peeing. Well,
I mean,
whatever.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, if they're eating any turds, I mean, they don't have to be theirs. But, like, if they eat shit at all, they need some help. Andrea, does that mean you eat turds?
Oh, no, I was looking up if R. Kelly peed on fans.
Just the one.
Hey, I don't really keep up with all of that.
Yeah. No, me neither. And I can tell you it's not for me. And I guess if that is the ruler one measures a true punk rock person as, I am not.
Oh, what is it that... Okay, I don't even know how to start this story, but I wanted to say it at the beginning, but I knew you were going to tell me to shut up and stay focused. But now I'm going to tell it at the end that when you confessed that you originally thought that alternative was
Oh, I thought
classic,
it was jazz. Yeah, I thought it was jazz. Like the saxophone stuff.
we just had that conversation like 2 years ago. So it wasn't even in Claire's teenage years.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
a real knee slapper. Well, I just assumed alternative music was saxophone like. I didn't realize that was what I listened to. And now I've been able to find music on Pandora.
Yeah, that was the best conversation. You couldn't find any of the music you like.
Right. Well, like, so I wanted to listen to something from my youth, and I was like, where did they put all this stuff? Because it definitely isn't pop. But I was just like, I don't recognize any of this shit. And they claim this is from my era. And I was like, I don't know what this trash is.
It's the best. Well, thanks for that.
Definitely wasn't jazz either.
So I would be curious if the reason he was throwing turds, where that falls in line with, like I said, the Ozzy Osbourne and Marilyn Manson nonsense. Because is he just trying to stay relevant?
Yes. Because Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off of that bat in 82, and then he snorted a line of ants in 84, so that would be right around the time of...
My sinuses.
Which is really weird for him to have ever said that he thought rock and roll was soft. He bit the head off of a bat. Not GG Allin, but like,
Yeah.
if other rock and rollers are doing weird shit. He just misunderstood the weird shit and eating the shit.
What was Marilyn Manson doing? I just know he was known for being a weirdo.
He still is.
Does he still produce music?
Too many questions.
Not enough answers.
Marilyn Manson didn't become a platinum selling whatever till 96.
Yeah, I don't care about that. When was he doing weird shit on stage? Because your feller didn't ever become a platinum selling nothing, and he was a freak show. Okay, so it says Marilyn Manson's stage shows in the 1990s were intentionally shocking, featuring extreme theatrics like burning the American flag, self-mutilation with broken glass, and performing in bizarre costumes. Performances often included provocative imagery such as naked women on crucifixes, animals, and cages, designed to provoke along with onstage conflict with band members.
We really had a sheltered childhood.
We were just busy listening to the 50s and 60s that our pal grew up on.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Although, it'd be weird if we were listening to this music in the 80s, considering we were both toddlers.
Yeah. Yeah, but even still, like, I'd never heard any of this trash. I really didn't know about Ozzy Osbourne snorting a line of ants until I think Dave told me.
Yeah.
I knew about the bat thing, but it's like, I wasn't into any of that. And definitely for Marilyn Manson, I keep wanting to say Marilyn Monroe, but Marilyn Manson doing the broken glass cutting thing, I guess he was just as weird as everybody else. He was just the only one that smeared turds on himself.
Yeah.
But
so he was just trying to be relevant. He just didn't stay sober enough.
I don't feel like Ozzy Osbourne is a poster boy for
Sobriety? No.
Yeah.
Yes, but Ozzy Osbourne did not die. Actually, I wonder how many times Ozzy OD'd in his life.
Oh.
No. Did Ozzy ever OD? Yes. He overdosed on multiple occasions during his decades-long struggle with substance abuse. He had frequently stated that he was lucky to be alive.
But not thankful.
He said in an interview in 2019 that he overdosed on drugs many times, so I'm lucky to be here anyway, noting he should have been dead thousands of times.
Oh.
Ozzy claimed to be taking up to 42 different types of prescription drugs simultaneously. Doesn't count if it's all ibuprofen.
That's the same one.
Ibuprofen, Tylenol, Motrin, Aleve, Advil. Why am I listing things in your case?
Motrin is ibuprofen.
It's a different name, so it's a different bottle.
You can call it what it is, but it still smells like a rose.
Thanks for that shitty case.
You're welcome.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Homicide Hobbies. If we made you laugh, if we made you cry, or if we mindfucked you for the day, then we thank you for listening. Please write a review on whatever you're listening to us on. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. We're freaking awesome. And join us next week for another episode of Homicide Hobbies. I'm Andy.
And I'm Claire.
That's all we've got.